Saudações tricolores, minha gente. Estamos aqui na seção Grandes Clássicos do site Torcida Tricolor. Vamos ver agora Fluminense 2, Barcelona 2, pela decisão do terceiro lugar da Transatlantic Cup, disputada uma semana após o Fluminense sagrar-se campeão brasileiro. É também o último jogo de Diego Maradona pelo Barcelona. O Diego Maradona transferiu-se para o Napoli, onde fez uma grande carreira, um sucesso incrível. E também foi o ano que o Cosmos, que foi o patrocinador desse torneio, acabou. Quer dizer, foi o último torneio que o Cosmos participou. Vamos ver aí um show de bola do Fluminense com Branco, o Washington, do Willio, quer dizer, um grande time e um espetáculo muito interessante para vocês que acompanham aqui o site Torcida Tricolor, www.torcidatricolor.com.br. Vamos ao jogo. Um abraço e até o próximo.
Live from Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Sports Channel presents four of the greatest soccer clubs in the world as they battle in the 5th annual prestigious Transatlantic Challenge Cup. In today's first game, the third-place match, Fluminense of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, takes on legendary Barcelona from Spain. And the Spanish and Brazilian national anthems from Giant Stadium. We're just about set to go with our consolation match. Let's check the lineups for this afternoon's third-place match in this Transatlantic Challenge Cup. It'll be Fluminense wearing the white and Barcelona in the striped jerseys. Barcelona again will have Amador in goal. Osvaldo, who is the number 6, moves back to defense for this game. Migueli, Valor, and Olmo also in defense. While the Barcelona midfield in this third-place match, Lieva, Estella, and the man who had the hat-trick, the loaner player from Real Marcia, Buzios, the number 8. Close up front with the incomparable one, the number 10, Maradona, and Magico Gonzalez will be on the wing as well, the starting lineup for Barcelona. Fluminense will have again Ricardo Lopez in the nets. The number 4 will be Aldo on defense with Guilo, Vica, and Branco. That's the back line for Fluminense, and against the great Brazilian fashion of single-name nicknames, Rene, Leonor, and J.C. Romero, Romerito, number 10 in the midfield with Wilsinho, Washington, and Paulinho on the front line. And for Fluminense, they came in on less than 24 hours rest first time, Seamus, and certainly they are a much more rested team this time around. We've got the kickoff right after this word, the Transatlantic Challenge Cup on Sports Channel. Miss Fallon, Transatlantic Challenge Cup action. Fluminense in the white, Barcelona in the blue and red stripes. And we're set to go. Fluminense, the champions of Brazil. Last Sunday, they won their first championship in Brazil since 1970 with a victory over Vasco da Gama. And they are taking on Barcelona, stunned by the Cosmos, 5-3 last week. And Fluminense must be feeling better about this match, having had a week to train and get some new players, especially on that front line, where they had a number of reserve and loaders over the first round match last week. Fluminense in the white with this attack. Wilsinho, number 7. Lays it off to the right side and gets it back. Wilsinho did not play last week as well, as Branco comes through and has it put out. And Barcelona to the attack. Osvaldo on the back line today. Estella to Olmo. And now Lieva in the midfield. Lieva, the number 6 for Barcelona, came on as a late-minute replacement last Monday. And now Gonzalez. Inside to Maradona. Diego Maradona to the left side. Leiva overlapping. Works it on Aldo. Nods it past him, but Aldo puts it out. Here's Maradona. Into the box. Moves past Valor. Gives him trouble and wins the ball. And now Rene starts the counterattack for Flamengo. Fluminense, I beg your pardon. Fluminense as Gonzalez. And then, yes, it's over the touchline. It will be a throw.
Flamengo maybe just a slip of the lip,
yes.
The tongue there, by the way, Bob. But of course, Carlos Alberto, formerly of the Cosmos, was the coach of Flamengo last year and is now the general manager of Fluminense. And we mentioned his son made an appearance in the first match here on a rain-soaked afternoon, Memorial Day.
As Paulinho, and that is offside and will come the other way. There's another reason I think Flamengo might have been on my mind. Wilsinho used to play for Flamengo, and Wilsinho, the number 7 in white for Fluminense, one of the players we did not have a chance to see last Monday. Wilsinho, number 7, and Washington, number 9. Two greatly talented players who did not make the first trip up from Rio, but are here today. A lead now. There goes Washington in against Migueli, taken down outside the area, and a free kick given approximately 20 yards away. And so just outside the box, it'll be a free kick. And
well, we didn't see Washington, as you mentioned. We're glad to see him. In fact, a good player, also has an easy name to remember, certainly. Wilsinho, not hard to remember either.
Cesar Santos, Washington, and so he is the number 9, and Wilson Mendoca is Wilsinho. And a free kick for the Brazilian side, Fluminense, just outside the Barcelona penalty area, just underway in our third-place match. Bob Lee, Seamus Mallon on Sports Channel, where the Brazilians excel off the dead ball. Wheelo is near the ball, but it's lifted in. Saved by Amador, and the rebound put out.
Well, a very dangerous-looking ball, but what else do you expect? Look at this beautifully glided ball around the wall. The keeper in a pretty good position, and the rebound that cannot be notched home. Barcelona apparently getting a goal kick out of that when it looked like the corner kick might come in the way of the Brazilians.
And as we are just 3.5 minutes in, don't forget we've got Udinese and the Cosmos following this match. Another soccer doubleheader. Vistaya up the right side, taken back by the Fluminense side. Romero, who did have a goal for Fluminense. Their regulation goal is Gonzalez is in a foot race against Valor. Gonzalez edge of the area with Maradona inside, and Valor puts it back. There goes Maradona. Centers and put out by Vica for the throw-in, and so Diego Maradona puts it quickly back in. And the offside off the throw-in.
Well, this game's certainly not as defensively minded as the first few minutes of the first game last week, which was characterized by lots of offside traps by both sides. Here there's a somewhat more relaxed atmosphere, although Barcelona was very distressed at losing to the Cosmos, and I know they don't want to lose 2 in a row here, that's for sure.
Osvaldo takes down Broncos to the free kick now for Fluminense. And again, we'll, in case you haven't figured it out, no, they are all not named Kodak on the Fluminense side. That is their sponsor, as the foreign fashion of putting the advertisement squarely on the jersey. Leomir in the midfield to Wilsinho, number 7, who nods it ahead off the face of Rene, and he took a shot right in the nose and is slow to get back to the counterattack as Vica puts it out. Osvaldo, number 2, and there's Rene. Cruz Varb, the 22-year-old midfielder, and still shaking the nose cartilage. Maradona at the midfield. Had the assist last week, but was stopped on the penalty kick by David Bursic in the second half. Good lead onside and put out for the throw-in now for Barcelona.
Good run out of the midfield, too, by Barcelona. Number 11 player, Magico Gonzalez, withdrawn into midfield and then coming forward nicely. He switches around a lot, does Magico Gonzalez. Started off in the left wing. Now you see him here on the right wing winning the ball in midfield.
Here comes Migueli, number 3, to the edge of the area. Double team, but comes back now to Gonzalez, past Gonzalez. And loose at the midfield. Rene now is on it. Nods it ahead there for Wilsinho. And now Washington, the number 9, Washington. Losing out to Lieva, number 6. And here comes Barcelona back down the left side. 7 minutes in, a lead down the right side for Klaus offside. And so, with 38:40 to play in the first half, we are scoreless, Fluminense and Barcelona. Brazilians try and build something out of their end. With a week of rest under their belts of new players, they look to put on a better show than they might have put on last Monday. Paulinho now lays it back to Branco. Back to Paulinho down the left side with 2 men in the box. Crosses. There's Amador.
Well, we didn't see much of Paulinho in the first game, Memorial Day, and in fact I was quite disappointed because he was so good in the World Cup matches for youth teams in Mexico last year. But now we're beginning to see some flashes of his talent, and of course on a relatively dry field. It is not raining today. We've had a few showers, but if any of you are thinking about coming out to the second game, I would still bring a raincoat just in case. But the Cosmos game for the championship will be coming up around 4 o'clock. It'll be well worth coming out to see it if you can.
Leomir puts it back. Bring along your portable dish too. You can watch the game. Vika to Luisinho at the midfield, and now Julio. Julio Diaz Jr., 27-year-old defender, has it back now and starts to quickly build the attack to Wilsinho. Wilsinho, number 7, stripped off it by Migueli. And now Migueli back for Barcelona to Maradona for the split second unmarked. And it's where you'll see him with more than 2 or 3 yards of space when he is on the ball. Back to Antonio Olmo. And now Huzios. Paulinho gets loose down the left side. Paulo Roberto Primo. Paulinho, and now Lieva wins out as Osvaldo has the ball back. Looks like Lieva has the primary marking duty in midfield on Maradona. Olmo giving some attention as well, as we are just 10 minutes in with the Cosmos in the championship match against Udinese to follow. Cosmos get back to league action this coming Saturday when the Chicago Sting are in town. We'll have that game at 3 on Sports Channel, 3 p.m. start. Maradona, is beaten to the ball by Branco. All the way back to Migueli. And now Olmo, the central defender. Rizios lays it back in. Fluminense the better of the action. Barcelona not really able to build anything at all as Maradona taken off it once again. Washington springs it ahead. A lead down the left to right side for Wilsinho. With Washington in the middle. Wilsinho losing his footing. Marked there by Valor.
Well, a little embarrassment for Wilsinho there as he was about to cross the ball with his right foot. He inadvertently touched it first with the left foot, and so when he went to swing with the right, the ball wasn't where it should be. And he took an embarrassing fall. Took it a little bit perhaps to the unfamiliar surface. This is his first appearance on the surface.
Maradona long into the box, and finally Lopez has the ball on it. Barcelona and Fluminense scoreless. First of 2 today. World-class action. If you were with us Monday for that stunning Cosmos showing against Barcelona, understand what this Transatlantic Challenge Cup can turn into rather quickly with explosive offense. Migueli now at the midfield of Maradona. Watching behind by Rene. And onside, no, offside lead. As the flag along the near side went up. Bill Mansman had his flag up.
Not much doubt about it, really. Maradona given really much too much room, but takes an extra step or 2, and of course all the defenders get up, and there are 2 players offside.
Huzios is ahead of the play as well. Back to the action. It'll be a free kick now for Fluminense, and we did have a caution issued.
Who's that? Number 6?
As referee Robert Evans puts a name in his book.
What team is that?
Free kick to be taken now by Vika. Actually, Julio now grounds it to the edge of the box as Rene tries to turn it. Shot save, Amador.
What a very good turn by Rene, though, as he picks up essentially what was a shot from outside and still trapped it beautifully, was still able to turn and fire away. And no rebound given up by Amador. Went to ground very nicely and smothered that shot beautifully.
Lorenzo Amador, and the conditions today just leagues better than they were 6 days ago when there were pools of standing water on the wings by the midway through the first game. Antonio Olmo was the player who received the yellow card from referee Robert Evans about 35 seconds ago. So Olmo is cautioned for Barcelona, the number 5. Fluminense back to the attack with Branco, a lead for Paulinho. Offside again. By that much, that's right.
Well, again, Barcelona, when I talk about the offside trap, Barcelona is certainly pulling the offside trap quite efficiently now. It's a perilous kind of endeavor, as they found out to their dismay when the Cosmos beat it twice for 2 goals in the first half. Look at that ball beautifully taken by Maradona.
A thing of beauty. Maradona gets the return. As Close tries to win that ball, but now this is I beg your pardon, Aldo. Taken off from behind, and now Barcelona, which really has yet to get any sustained attack going, and won't get it on this possession.
Maradona again trying to serve Huzios there. Admittedly, 2 men on Huzios are closing on him, but all he had hoped to do was to knock it back to Close, who had come into a helpful position beside him.
Lead now for Washington, edge of the area against Olmo, and taken off. Challenged at the midfield, but Migueli's got it back. Well, that Brazilian attack, not sputtering, just several offside calls, and yes, the better of the action so far, and perhaps just a matter of time before the players Washington and Wilsinho, who we did not see, as we said, the first match, begin to click. With, of course, the ex-Cosmos player in there, number 10, Romerito, J.C. Romero, who did have the goal in regulation for Fluminense. We went to the penalty kick shootout, and again, all the matches will be decided first with sudden death overtime, and then with a penalty kick shootout. There is no goal aggregate as in past cups. Maradona, lead down the left side. Olmo challenging there with Dulio, and Dulio wins it.
But what a fine pass from Maradona on the artificial surface, too. He had no trouble pacing that ball. Very often on this surface, players will knock a ball forward expecting the grass to kill it, as it will in the outdoors. That time Maradona played the ball forward knowing that the surface would help the ball along, and so he was able to beat the good marking by the defense of Fluminense.
That standing water on Monday became just as effective as natural grass, if not more so. We saw a number of balls just die in the puddles and remain on the field of play, and very, very much playable. Now Romero. But there's no water on the pitch whatsoever. They have squeegeed everything off, and it's a perfect surface now. Artificial. You know, these players certainly are used to the natural grass surface, so they adjust quickly. Close at the midfield. It'll be a free kick for Barcelona. 29 minutes in this first half. Estella. And now Osvaldo on the right defense. Looks to get the return. Branco breaks it up, and now the lead for Paulinho, and just a tad too far. So we are still scoreless with 28.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Barcelona and Fluminense for third place. And are scoreless with 27:30 in the first half.
Well, Cosmos season tickets are still a bargain. If you'd like to enjoy the best summer of soccer ever in Cosmos country, call the ticket office at 212-265-8600. Be a loyal soccer supporter. Take advantage of the best entertainment buy of the summer. Get your Cosmos season tickets now.
Fluminense looks to build from the midfield. Wilsinho ahead to Rene, now to the outside as Aldo is overlapping. Plays it back to Wilsinho, number 7, Wilsinho. Dancing with that ball attached to his right foot, moves it on Valor and tries to cross, but there is Olmo to break it up. Under 27 minutes now in this first half for third place. The 5th annual Transatlantic Challenge Cup, a new format this year. Just one North American Soccer League team, quite obviously the Cosmos, and goal aggregate not the important factor, just winning the matches. And if we're tied after regulation, we will have 2 10-minute overtime sudden death periods. Washington couldn't get to that. Followed by, if necessary, penalty kick shootouts, and which is what we needed between Fluminense and Udinese on the first round. A 1-1 match in regulation. And you're scoring, of course, the penalty kicks count as actual goals, which is the World Cup and international fashion. Throw in for Barcelona. Magico Gonzalez, number 11. The cutter to the inside is taken off, and now Romero's got it back. Under 26 minutes. Leomir at the midfield. Fluminense now builds from that midfield across. It comes to Wilsinho. Rene on the wing. He's got Wilsinho trailing him. Leomir comes up, lays it off of the 18, and back to Maradona. Maradona with loads of room now across midfield with an excellent lead. Out comes the keeper, Lopez, and controlled well by Aldo. This afternoon, the Cosmos will be defending their title to take on Udinese in the first place match at 4 p.m. The Transatlantic Challenge Cup Championship match, Cosmos and Udinese, right after this game. Wilsinho. And comes right back to Lorenzo Amador.
Well, that fine work by Rene in midfield with beautiful ball skills, winning the ball away and holding it away. Going to not, but look how open Maradona is. There he is again, wide open. And it's almost as though the Brazilian team is conspiring to give him some chances to play the ball. I don't think that's really the case, but in fact he makes it look that way because he beats the marking so well. He drifts away from players and gets into the good spaces, and of course his teammates are accurate enough passers of the ball that they can make first-time passes to him with enable him to do something.
This might be his last match for Barcelona. There's talk of a gigantic $9 million transfer to Napoli, possibly. Gonzalez plays it short, and Wilsinho brings it right down. So this could be a bit of soccer history. The young man who arguably is the best striker, the best scorer in the world, as now Leomir's got plenty of room. Moves in Leomir, and out comes Amador. Still alive, centered, and there is Estella to calmly break up the attack. Number 7, Estella.
Very promising break by the Brazilians there, and very well taken at the end. There must be a foul there, surely. No, he's not good.
We just play on. Thought we heard a whistle as we come back the other way with Washington on the ball. Osvaldo did not clear it, though. It's inside the area. Loose. Dulio is near it, as is Romero, and it comes right back to the keeper.
Boy, that's a real rarity in soccer at first-class level. You very rarely see a ball bounce twice in the air in a penalty area. That's an absolute no-no in terms of defense. You always try to play the ball before it hits the ground. Let it bounce twice is almost unheard of, but of course the surface here will give it a little bit of a ride when it does hit, so a bit harder to control and anticipate.
So we are still scoreless, but just barely. And the Brazilian side, Fluminense, with far the better of the scoring opportunities, even though, as we've said, Maradona has had his room in the midfield. Romero, the number 10 for Fluminense, trying to get something on. Migueli breaks it up with his lead now for Huzios, with Gonzalez trailing the play. Huzios. It'll be a throw-in last touch by Huzios for Fluminense.
Romero not coming into this game very much at all. Very little of the play. In fact, coming down the left side to Romero and Coutinho. Now we see Romero on the throw and receiving it and losing it. But the other midfielders, Leomir and Rene in particular, have been very, very strong for Fluminense.
Edge of the area. Vika tries to put it away, and there is Lopez as Vika just chopped it down and it carried to his keeper.
Now Romero runs to the far right side. You see him way over there on the far right side on the touchline, trying to throw off the defense of Barcelona, can take up a new position, give them something unexpected.
He is on the ball. Romero to Wilsinho. It'll be a throw-in for Fluminense. Wilson Mendoca, who used to play for Flamengo. Now Romero, last, of course, with the Cosmos offside lead for Wilsinho. 22 minutes in this first half. So Maradona, perhaps about to become a $9 million man. His transfer from Boca Juniors in Argentina to Barcelona made worldwide headlines. And the deadline for Italian teams to import their players for a 2-year period is the end of the current month. So if Napoli is going to make a move, they must make it within the next 27 days. Barcelona and Fluminense are scoreless. Bob Lee and Seamus Mallet on Sports Channel. Lieva to Migueli. And now Maradona again with the room, not being marked on his side of the midway line, halfway line, and right to Rene. And the Brazilians begin to sparkle as this break for Washington, edge of the area, tangling with Migueli.
Well, give a little credit there to Olmo, the number 5 player for Barcelona, who did not foul Washington as he went through, which might be the temptation for a lot of players, clearly beaten like that. But we want to see some entertaining soccer today, not negative soccer. And so far, the Brazilians through the middle have looked quite enterprising.
Here goes Gonzalez through 3 defenders trying to feed Maradona, and the foul is whistled on Vika as he tangled with Diego Maradona. So the free kick about 22 yards out, another opportunity, and a first good free kick for Barcelona. They had one corner kick, and it was a dismal one. It's headed right down by Rocinho.
Well, that was all Magico Gonzalez. There's another yellow card.
And I believe perhaps the Washington or maybe Bronco, who's in the middle of that discussion.
Yeah, certainly delay of game or unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever you want to call it, but no question that they were holding up the shooting opportunity for Maradona, who's going to see if he can bend this one around and over the top of the wall. Last time when he did this against the Cosmos, he surprised everybody by hitting it over this near side of the wall rather than the far side. See the goalkeeper checking out the far post. The wall's supposed to cover that post.
No doubt who's going to take it. Where it's going, heads off the wall, and it will be a corner kick. Maradona's ability, of course, there's no dummy over the ball. It's just one man to do it. It's Diego. It'll be a corner kick now as Gonzalez will take it. Looking for the in-swinger. This last one a very low one. A little bit more height on this one, and settled by Huzios. Left-footed shot. Karam's wide off a defender, and it will be another corner kick now. And Ricardo Lopez. Watching that one by Huzios square wide, and now again Gonzalez. A lower one. Maradona with a backheader loose in the crease. It bounds down and then is cleared out by Leomir. Hit right in the crease. Sent right back in. Now a lead for Romero. Offside was Paulinho on the left wing.
That's right. Romero on the ball was clearly onside, but Paulinho had drifted behind the last remaining defender. Oh, what a nicely glanced ball by Maradona there. He's trying to serve the player of his own side at the far post. I think that was close, trying to bundle his way in to get him. The end of that little flick by Maradona, but the defender held him off.
So it is still 0-0. Gonzalez to the inside. Out comes Lopez to put it away. An obstruction call outside the area now. And now a caution is issued as well to Duilio, number 2, the defender for Fluminense. And so we have had 3 cautions issued in the first 27 minutes or so of play. Another look at it.
Look at this lovely piece of skill here. Look at that beautiful touch by Magico Gonzalez, putting the ball around to the right side. You see, that draws the defender to the right. And so to avoid him, you quickly turn the other way and get by him. But Julio knew that it was curtains had he let him go by, and he commits the so-called professional foul.
And again, Maradona with a free kick just at the top of the penalty arc.
Now let's see what he does. This time they're giving him the right side. The shorter players are on the far side of the wall, so the tall players on this side, which means they feel they have blocked off this side.
Every centimeter counts, and the wall actually, for a minute, was angled away from Maradona. Again, no set piece. It's Diego and the goalie, and the wall, and the ball. Knocked down. Rebound, it comes to Estella. Goal! Oh, Barcelona, which did not have the momentum, did have the free kick, did not even try the set piece, and the rebound is in by Estella, and it's 1-0 Barcelona.
Well, let's take a look at the replay. Maradona's shot goes into the wall, almost as though he plays it for the rebound, and a quick touch to Estella, and the keeper really makes a mess of this save going down and just caroms off his thigh into the net. But look at Estella's shot. Now watch his bad effort by the goalkeeper. Really, he is caught by the tricky bounce, admittedly. But even so, did not make a very good effort there. And I wouldn't be surprised, Bob, if Maradona deliberately played that ball against the wall to get it back. That's not an uncommon tactic. It looks like a bad shot, but he may very well have deliberately played into the wall to win it back to himself.
Well, if you're the world's best player, you certainly would know your mates well enough to do that. So Estella off the Maradona free kick, and Barcelona leads it 1-0. Here comes Leomir. Stopped at midfield by Lieva, and back it comes to Gonzalez. 16-15 now, remaining in the first half. This is Washington to the outside. Maradona picks up the assist. 27:38 is the elapsed time of that tally, and so Barcelona has the lead. With Barcelona on top, we'll step aside for this word. Coutinho on the ball for Fluminense, exchanging with Washington now to the wing as the Brazilians build an attack. They are trailing 1-0 on the Estella goal off the Maradona free kick at 27:38 as Washington fights for it, and Rene comes away with it. Back it comes to Leomir, who puts it off now to Branco. Branco with Paulinho to his left, takes the shot himself. He did have Paulinho to his left, but he took the shot nonetheless.
Well, let's remind you that Metropolitan Insurance Day is Sunday, June 24th, when the Cosmos host defending champions, the Tulsa Roughnecks. The first 15,000 youngsters 16 and under will receive a T-shirt courtesy of Metropolitan Insurance and the Cosmos.
Tulsa having their problems early in the league season, and Lucinho wins that ball but pushes to do so it'll be a free kick.
Well, that goal, Bob, was just what the game needed, the correct tonic, really, because it had bogged down a little bit with occasional flashes here and there, but now things have loosened up quite a bit. The Barcelona offside trap has looked good, but occasionally a slight bit vulnerable. And on the other hand, they are taking it to the other club, to Fluminense, with a good deal of imagination through the midfield.
Well, Romero there from the midfield tried to lead Paulinho on that last break down. The midfielder Leomir, actually the defender, decided to take that shot himself, even though he had the very skilled Paulinho to his left. So the Brazilians trailing, but they never lack for the opportunity to come from behind. You and I did the match last year in the Youth World Cup when they were trailing, of all people, South Korea, their national under-21 team. They came back to tie that match and then win it with 5 minutes to go. From the midfield, Estella to Maradona. And close, tangling, trying to win that ball. Wilsinho comes back for it, and Julio's got it. Under 13 minutes now in the first half. Branco. As Romero lays it ahead. Osvaldo has it back for Barcelona. Fluminense in the white, Barcelona in the dark. The red and blue stripes, and so far offside it's not even worth contesting. Museum's way ahead of the play. Something super coming this summer on Sports Channel, so get ready for all the home team action you could possibly want. This summer on Sports Channel, a super summer. Paulinho now with room down the left side. Crisscrossing now with a Branco. Knotted down by Estella, who's got it back, and it comes to Gonzalez with 12:15 in the first half. Foot race, and Estella wins it, keeps it along the touchline, lays it back for Gonzalez, and broke it up. A throw-in for Barcelona.
Magico Gonzalez now on the ball, giving a little flick back there to Estella, which may have been about the quality of the pass he got from him before the throw-in, just reminding him of that a bit. But Magico Gonzalez, certainly an explosive player here for Barcelona, playing a lot down the right side, but now going back to his customary number 11 spot, if you will, on the left wing. But a much more dominant player in this match than he was certainly against the Cosmos on Monday.
And Barcelona has the lead. It was Maradona assisting Estella. This is Branco in his end for Fluminense in the white. The champions of Brazil with a 2-game goal aggregate victory over Vasco da Gama. The final last Sunday at massive Maracanã Stadium in Rio de Janeiro in front of 130,000 people. Rene. Now down the right side, the Brazilians trailing 1-0 to the midfield to Paulinho, who's now in the middle. Lays it ahead. Aldo, the 18 put away by Migueli. There's Wilsinho on the ball, though, with 4 men in the box. Wilsinho tries to get to it, crosses it, but it was over the touchline for a goal kick. We've got under 11 minutes in the first half, and Barcelona has the only goal of the match. Up on Sports Channel, Bob Lee and Seamus Mountain at Giant Stadium, Artelli, Barcelona, with the Estella goal midway through the first half off the Maradona free kick. Fluminense of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, wearing the white. Barcelona is in those stripes, and that's where the free kick will be taken from. Or Barcelona deep in their own end, now looking to perhaps add to their lead as Olmo in the midfield. A lead down the left side. There goes Gonzalez. Works against Dulio. Gonzalez looking for close, and it'll be a throw-in for Barcelona. 9 minutes first half.
What a great save by Gonzalez there with the outside of his right foot when it looked like he would be beaten by the sort of being caught in half stride as the ball came towards the line. Gonzalez is impressing me very, very much in this first half.
Maradona, speaking of impressive, to Gonzalez, who's taken down from behind, and Huzios, a lead but an offside for Close. Maradona and Close ahead of the play. Not a popular call. There are a number of partisans for Barcelona on hand here today. The rain has stopped. We had a slight sprinkle early in the match. Obviously overcast skies. The lights are not on for this first game. Nodded by Osvaldo, right back to the keeper, Amador.
It's an interesting matchup here. These quick, nimble forwards for Fluminense against the tough central defenders. Skillful defenders admittedly, but still certainly a little bit more heavy of foot than a player like Washington or Wilsinho. And so far, Barcelona's done very well holding their own, but there are several times when you wonder if the offside trap will be enough.
Takes one missed call to turn a game around, or what you perceive to be a missed call, and the offside trap becomes just a bomb blowing up in your face as Amador has it back. We really even haven't had a chance. We'll have a chance through the afternoon to talk about the national team showing against the Italians on Wednesday evening, and so many of the Cosmos as Maradona just pushed in the midfield. No call made. Romero back on it. Romero through the midfield and saved by Amador with Washington in front. JC with an exhibition of speed right up the middle.
Maradona was fouled, Bob. The referee said play on because he thought Maradona was going to retain possession. Unfortunately for Barcelona, he lost it eventually, and then the quick counter right down the middle by Romero, who's now beginning to play the way he did against Udinese, much more dominant now in the last 5 minutes than he was certainly in the first 30.
Now Barcelona. Gonzalez on a run away from the ball as Osvaldo lays it off, and Vika in the box looks to save as Bronco is there. Trying to save it, and doing so. 6:50 in this first half. Barcelona leads Fluminense 1-0. Bronco, who has been cautioned once today. Leomer de Souza, 22-year-old defender. And now Rene. Back to Leomer. Fluminense builds an attack. A lead for Romerito, and it's too far. Close. Julio's got it back. Washington, and now Aldo down the right side, tangling with Close, who wins it back. Aldo stays on it. It'll be a throw-in for Barca, or beg your pardon, for Fluminense. Comes right to Leiva. And the Spaniards have it back. Maradona offside. Lead a little too far.
Very close, though. Close by about a stride or two, but
Leiva was breaking.
Yeah, linesman in a very good spot there to call it.
Here comes Bronco. There's Paulinho now with room on the wing. Back to Leomer. Leomer onside lead as Migueli knocks it down. Save though. Ahead for Rene. Couldn't get to it, and back to Migueli. And Leiva at the midfield for Barcelona. Vika. Gonzalez looks to win it, but it comes back to Dulio.
Some man Gonzalez again. Maradona beginning to catch on to the fact that Gonzalez has got a tremendous amount of energy. Here's a good break for Barcelona.
This is Francisco Javier Close. Close number 9 with 2 men in the box. Crosses it too far for Huzios. Close offside as he went for the rebound as the flag went up and the call was made. The rebound carried him to Close, and he was offside. Something super coming on Sports Channel. It's beginning on Monday night. We'll be welcoming celebrity guest stars who'll add a little spice and excitement to our Super Summer of Baseball with their unique commentary. Monday night, Elliot Gould, the well-known Dodger fan. And, of course, actor and sports enthusiast will be our first guest announcer. He'll be on hand to call the shots as the Yankees battle the Red Sox at the stadium. The action begins at 8 o'clock. Elliot Gould, our guest commentator, only on Sports Channel. Offside lead for Paulinho on the left wing.
interesting aspect of the Brazilian forward play, of course, is when you get Washington together in there with Wilsinho or with Leomir coming through, or Rene, that they are willing to try the very, very difficult things at the top of the penalty area, the quick combinations, skillful touches and so forth. That's what you come out to see Brazilian teams do when you come to a stadium like this.
No skill by Leomir. He was all over Maradona. Then the lead for Estella was offside again.
But what a good idea by Diego Maradona. Again, drawing players towards him. And, of course, that's what you always want to happen if you're on Maradona's side, that he draws one or two players. It looks as though he's beating one. Then the panic signals start to go up in the defense, and it gives the chance for the opening.
Now Maradona has room just outside the area with a through man and just wide. He did have Museums running to his right. He took the shot himself and whistled just beyond the post.
Well, there again, same thing. The great skill of this player, freezing the defense a little bit. And he opted this time to not to try to force a pass through and maybe get an offside return, but to instead to take that bending left-footed shot, and he almost pulled it off.
Bronco back to Paulinho. Under 3 minutes now in the first half. Bob Lee and Seamus Mallet on Sports Channel. Lieva's got it back. Now Barcelona with much the momentum. Close on a run. He is onside, just outside the box. Close. Maradona taken off by Julio, the captain, and now a lead to midfield with 2:40 in the first half. Wilsinho to Washington. Fluminense looks to counterattack. Washington past Maradona for Bronco. He's got Paulinho onside on the wing. Paulinho inside the box. 3 men to his left as Olmo got a piece of him and the ball. And back on the Spanish side. Maradona. And Estella, the goal scorer, takes the itinerant elbow from Bronco. And it's getting a little bit rough. 2 minutes now, and unofficially, as Estella is slow to get up. No call was made on that little tussle past the play. Back it comes to Lorenzo Amador. Cosmos to take on Udinese to follow this game, the Transatlantic Challenge Cup. All matches to be decided with sudden death overtime and then penalty kick shootouts if needed. Cosmos with a brief respite, if you can call that, from the league play. Arch rival Chicago is in town. Mark the change on your schedule if you haven't done so already. It is a Saturday game, not a Sunday game. Saturday at 3 o'clock, live on Sports Channel. Barcelona leading Fluminense with now 80 seconds in this first half.
Well, Fluminense certainly don't want to give up a second goal here, and Barcelona would love to try to put this game away, which effectively they think they could do with the second goal. They found that hard to do against the Cosmos, of course, when they had scored 2, but the Cosmos simply did not quit after 10 minutes. Put it all together in a good first half and came right back into it.
Romero onside on the right side for the overlapping defender Aldo, who settles and crosses. Shot goal! Paulinho! The volley out of midair. And we're tied at 1-1 with 40 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, it all coming from a classic Brazilian move, Bob, namely the overlapping, attacking right fullbacks. They don't know how to play defense in Brazil. Look at this man, Aldo, going way up. Saw the opportunity and played it across everybody, and Paulinho just crashing it home with the left foot. A tremendous cross by Aldo, very high quality, clearing everybody, and then Paulinho having a difficult chance, but showing us why he's on the national team, or in the squad now for the national team, and did ever so well last year for the youth team. So we're tied at 1 with only seconds to go in the first half.
So Aldo assisting Paulinho in the 45th minute of the match. Barcelona, Fluminense tied at 1-1, and yes, it's getting just a little bit rougher bit by bit as Aldo tangling there with Paulinho, and he pays for that goal immediately. We're playing on injury time, which has just expired as the first half is whistled to a close by our referee, Bob Evans. And so Estella for Barcelona, Paulinho scoring for Fluminense, and the match is at 1-1.
Well, a very good first half after some shaky going perhaps early on, but they eventually did start to spread the game out a bit, get the rhythm going a little bit. There was a certain amount of hesitation initially, but once they got the rhythm going, particularly the Barcelona side began to look very, very enterprising. And you really just wondered if Fluminense could break out of that midfield and get a fast enough counterattack going to exploit the tendency of Barcelona to pull up offside. They did, but they took a full 44.5 minutes before they could do it. But what a very fine goal they got at the end of it. So I think we've got a lot to look forward to in this second half, because I'll tell you, Bob, I don't think either of these teams wants to play more than 90 minutes, thank you very much. They've been through, one of them has been through that once already this week. So I think they'll want to have some kind of result. But now that Fluminense are back in it, I think we'll see a lot more enterprising play for them in the second half.
Barcelona from Spain. The Fluminense keeper Ricardo Lopez and Lorenzo Amador. The Barcelona keeper, each one beaten once today. No substitutions as far as we can see at the onset of the second half, as Maradona takes that kickoff, and back comes Fluminense in the person of Leamir at the midfield. Now Wilsinho with Aldo to his right. Maradona slicing it ahead. Lead onside. This is close. Crisscrossing with Huzios. Centers for Maradona. He's taken again down from behind, and that's been his posture when he has been marked. And a free kick certainly for Barcelona. The Brazilians want to turn the other way. Quickly put into play on the left wing to Huzios. Turns it onto his right foot. A little too fancy and taken back.
He made a good turn initially to get out there. In fact, made a victim of Wilsinho, who had done so well just before the half. But he just pushed the ball a bit too far ahead of himself with a shot.
This is Rene, number 8. Rene Cruz Barb, and it'll be a throw-in. Aldo, who had the assist on the tying goal by Paulinho. Back to Leamir in the midfield. Rene. Changing with Washington, who tried to get it back, but Huzios has got it for Barcelona. Just underway in the second half. 1-1 is our score. Cosmos to follow. Paulinho. Cosmos will be playing Udinese of the Italian First Division. This is Romero. Rene has some room with Aldo to his right. Cuts it back to Leamir. And now Aldo. For Wilsinho. Aldo. Give it right away to Huzios, who had the hat trick in the first round match. A lead now for Gonzalez, but Leamir, rather Branco, wins that race to the ball. Has to go back now to Vika.
Good idea, though. Not too many players that you would serve a ball like that forward to, with 3 potential defenders within reach. But a lot of confidence in this Barcelona side that Magico Gonzalez can run away from most defenses, and he almost ran through and away from the defenders there.
And speaking of being able to get away from defenders, there goes Paulinho with a lead for Washington. Paulinho has the tying goal for Fluminense. Vika puts it back. Barcelona.
Well, it's interesting. Vika trying to beat the offside trap by knocking it over the top. Unfortunately, his player trying to beat the offside trap by running back towards his own halfway line.
As we said, there were 14 first half offside calls. There goes Romero. Shot just wide of the near post. Might have taken a tad of paint off as it went past, just whistling wide. Goal kick.
Romero, of course, scored the important goal for his club. There he is. In the first game, hitting a post, just the inside of the post. Here he gets a shot away, beats the keeper nicely, but that thing just skips by the post, with Washington cruising through the goal area and hoping maybe that the ball might have been played to him rather than shot on goal.
Huzios puts it back now to Valor. Barcelona building for the midfield. The captain Maradona again muscled off by Rene, and the foul is whistled. 3.5 minutes now into our second half, as Julio, the captain for Fluminense, and now we come back with Valor to Wilsinho. Rene in the midfield, gets it back now. 4-on-1 developing. Rene down the middle, lays it off, shot over the top. It was offside as the flag was up from the far wing.
Oh my goodness. Barcelona caught on their offside trap initially as a couple of players went forward. Osvaldo in particular not realizing that Olmo had dropped back to keep everybody onside. But in fairness, really the Brazilian side, Fluminense, made a real mess of that at the end. They had a good chance to put it away, and unfortunately for them, Rene held the ball much too long before playing it wide left, and the player had gone into an offside position.
Paulinho pulled the trigger, but as you said, Rene waited so long that it was an offside attack, so we are still 1-1 as it whistled high. Fluminense back on the attack at the midfield. Coming up is Aldo, trying to win that one, and now it comes to Wilsinho. Wilsinho circles to the inside to Rene. Back to Leomir. As a cutter coming through, hits him on the run. Romero can't control it. Estea's got it.
Oops. That should be a warning right there, like for Paulinho.
And it will be, as Paulinho grabbed it. And the intentional handball. Darryl Strawberry, Keith Hernandez, and the Red Hot Mets meet the Pirates Tuesday at 8 live from Three River Stadium. Mets baseball as Gonzalez goes in, and it's deflected wide to the right side. And a corner kick. Great combination work, Maradona there. Superb work again to that swift Magico Gonzalez, who's certainly got the appropriate name. And Magico will take the outswinging corner kick with Uzios looking for position in the box. Maradona playing well out towards the 18. Close, who is a tall player, is in there as well as Migueli, the defender. Gonzalez corner kick put out by Dulio. It's a corner kick here now. Another dangerous situation. I think that was the defender number 2 who knocked that one away. Right, Dulio, the captain, Dulio Diaz Jr. And so they'll take it from the same corner as it went out on the far side. So another attempt for Gonzalez as we are 6 minutes now into the second half. And Maradona, of course, is up in the box, close as well. There's Gonzalez to take it again. Swerves more towards the keeper, settled by Uzios, chips it in for Maradona over the head of Close, and controlled by Bronco. Lovely idea. Oh, but Maradona took it away from Close, unfortunately. He had to leap high. There's an offside of Maradona. But he had to jump high in the air to flick that one on. Had he just let it go, Close would have had an easy goal. Diego Maradona. 1-1 is our score. And Barcelona are tied at 1-1 as Maradona flicks that one back ever so skillfully to Uzios. Close. Dulio wins that ball. No dangerous play, just a verbal warning from the referee as Barcelona now wins it back. Leiva to Uzios. A curling lead, and out comes Lopez to pluck it away. Lots of good midfield work being done now by Leiva, the number 6 player for Barcelona, who's sort of the central midfielder and is anticipating passes very well, cutting inside and picking off some of those dangerous midfield sorties by the Fluminense team. You do not want a Brazilian team to break quickly from midfield because they can destroy you with speed and skill through the middle. And he's doing a very, very good job in frustrating their combination possibility through midfield. 8.5 minutes into the second half, a near handball, and we play on it was perhaps an attempt at an intentional one by the Fluminense defense as they win the ball back, but nothing was whistled. Caroms off the referee, and Valor to Maradona. A wacky action here. Maradona on the right side now, with Uzios filling the middle. This is Gonzalez crisscrossing with Estea. Estea offside on the right side. Well, not a bad idea by Gonzalez, Magico Gonzalez. Estea had made the good run, and perhaps it might have been better had Magico Gonzalez given the ball up earlier and played it wide just before he started his cut through the middle into congestion. By the time he did release it, of course, the whole defense had pulled up, and Estea was well off. Off the touchline for another throw in. 1-1 is our score as we approach the 10-minute mark of the second half. Reminder, game 2 this afternoon, the Cosmos and Udinese, as the Cosmos look to defend their Transatlantic Challenge Cup title. Game 2 of our doubleheader along about 4 o'clock. Close. Back to Uzios as Dulio wins the ball. Wilsinho to the midfield, and now here comes J.C. Romero on the right side for Aldo. Aldo. Close takes him down and is whistled for the call. Let's see if we'll have a card. No, just a free kick to be taken as they'll move it back. Well, not much doubt about this being a dangerous foul. Look how much he leans in there and catches him on the thigh. And I think
they are going to give a warning here to the player, maybe just a verbal warning. He's saying, look, I was just trying to play the ball, but referee says none of that. And it's another yellow. It must be about the 5th of the afternoon, I should think.
And Close is given the verbal, or the actual card after the verbal warning and the thrashing from referee Robert Evans. Francisco Javier Close, 23 years of age, skillful player, which is needs not to be said about just about anybody on this pitch. Chip by Julio to the 18, and there's Amador. Quickly out to Gonzalez. Thought about backheeling it though, and goes right back to Amador.
Frustrated there by the position of the referee, and he kept his cool though. Look at him getting into a good position again now to help his team out.
Being troubled by Washington, but Gonzalez has now Valor overlapping on the left side. There's Maradona crisscrossing with Gonzalez. Maradona for Close. Back to Diego Maradona. A lead for Magico Gonzalez in the area. Shot and goal! The Magic Man Gonzalez. And it's 2-1 Barcelona.
Well, you could see that coming. We kept talking about Gonzalez all the time, but he made a great run behind the defense, completely surprising the Fluminense defender, particularly Julio, who does not realize he's behind him. Now watch Maradona get the ball here, and watch Gonzalez come to the bottom left of your screen. He'll cut in here, the extreme left there, as he gets behind number 2, Julio, who's been watching the play out in front and is not warned, apparently, that there's somebody behind him, and does not look over his shoulder. So worried is he about Maradona that he lets Julio in, that he lets Magico Gonzalez in there. And it's an easy finishing touch for Magico Gonzalez, who has looked very, very good all afternoon.
So if you worry about the number 10, the number 11 will burn you, as very alertly Gonzalez stayed on side with Julio and on stride, beating the keeper Lopez, and it's 2-1 Barcelona. And we'll see what the Brazilians have in store. Gonzalez with a lead for Close, and Barcelona continues. Close playing it for himself, but Bronco is there. So Gonzalez gets the goal. That's Close. Francisco Javier Close. Close picks up an assist on the Gonzalez goal. Chip into the area. Shot by Washington is blocked by the defense.
Boy, was that ever a fine pass from Paulinho again. A tremendous cross. Again, that quick counter-attacking thrust by the Brazilians. And this time, though, the finishing touch that we saw from Paulinho just before the half seemed to abandon Washington, who shanked the volley opportunity.
Aldo's got it back. The Brazilians looking to equalize again. A flick for Aldo into the box past Valor, looking to cross, which he does to the far post. Nobody there. Little too high for Paulinho. And is a penalty kick given? Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
As Paulinho skied for the attempt, he was low-bridged, and the call is made by referee Robert Evans with 31:40 to play in the match.
I think this ball is out of Paulinho's reach anyhow. Look at the cross coming in. Now, you see Paulinho go up, but he's very definitely pushed a little bit by the elbow there. And the referee, I think, was in a good position following up to catch it. We just caught a glimpse of it on the replay, I think, but that's often a very tough thing to find. I think Paulinho would have had a hard time putting that one away anyhow, Bob. He's not the tallest player. He was a little too close in to be able to put it away, but it clearly was a superb scoring opportunity. And for the second time in a week, this club, Fluminense, has a chance to score from the penalty spot.
And Romerito will do the honors. J.C. Romero has it teed up.
Edinho, if you remember, took the first one.
And Edinho not even dressed today. So Romero is nominated. Amador guessed correctly, but Romero beats him to the left post. And so we are 2-2 on the penalty kick, as Paulinho taken down going for the header, and the penalty kick awarded, and Romero plants it.
Well, I got my Brazilians mixed up here. Obviously, Edinho had played for Udinese when he scored last week, and we'll see him in the second game. We won't see Romero again, but there you see him putting away the penalty. He scored a penalty in the shootout when they, in fact, he got a retake in the shootout after the first one had been saved. He was allowed to take it again and scored it this time. He doesn't need 2 opportunities, and it's tied up at 2.
59-20, the time of the penalty kick as Romero puts it in, and Barcelona Fluminense tied up once again. Washington can't get to it, kept in by Estella. So the action is opening up a lead for Close, looking to get past Vika. Close down the right side with 2 men in the box, looks to turn it back. It is a corner kick awarded. So a corner kick as it's going end to end right now. At 2-2 is our score. Gonzalez again will take it. Close will move up into the box along with Migueli. Uzios in the box, so is Maradona. Gonzalez might have been grazed. Header just off the crossbar. Rebound is in. Maradona. Handball disallowed. Maradona took the rebound off the post and put it in off the crossbar, but a handball whistle immediately by referee Robert Evans.
Well, referee is smiling at Maradona. He thinks it's a bit of a joke, or he certainly is in a good position. Well, unfortunately, we can't see it. It all happened so fast there, but referee claimed that Maradona knocked the ball in with his hand and not with his head. And, of course, a lot of the skillful players will do that if they can't quite reach to the side and get their head on the ball. They very often just flick up the hand and make it look as though they're heading it in, but really punch it in. And the referee feels without any doubt whatsoever that that's what Maradona did. We're not sure, but well, we don't really count.
Bob Evans counts, and he had a big, broad grin on his face. So lead for Gonzalez down the right side against Rene, and it will be a goal kick.
Well, I think it's going to call a foul here. That Gonzalez was held trying to round the corner of the defense. Well, things have really heated up now. We thought they would do in the second half with the 1-1 score. Now we've seen two goals, and I would guess maybe a few more to come.
Essentially a corner kick. It's deep in the corner, the free kick. And again, Gonzalez will take it with cutters lurking in the box. Gonzalez headed out by Washington. Sent right back in wide right of Ricardo Lopez, and it's 2-2. Pica for the ball, and now over comes Leomir, rather Branco to win it. And Maradona beginning to make things click. Barcelona back on the ball, cleaned away by Leomir. Back to midfield to Washington. We have really, here in the second half, as Migueli has problems with it, is overrun now by Rene, who crosses to the far post. Paulinho is there, and he'll have to circle with Osvaldo on him. And Osvaldo puts it out for the throw-in with 24 minutes now remaining.
Well, there again, the Brazilian quickness. The defender looked like he had that play all the way down his right-hand side, the attacking right-hand side of Barcelona. But he lost it just through superior pace over a short distance.
Liner just over the top, not even challenged by Lorenzo Amador. 2-2. Barcelona and Fluminense, the third-place match in the Transatlantic Challenge Cup. Front, loose. Wilson Coutinho cannot get to it. Shot stopped by Amador to the far side on Paulinho's shot. It will be a corner kick as Fluminense built the attack off a miscue by Barcelona. And now the corner kick.
Well, Romero had a great chance and messed up his shot. He's now on the ball from the corner.
And JC tries to bend it in. Osvaldo got a piece of it. Wilsinho header is loose. Shot wide by Vika. And a goal kick.
Well, somewhat uncharitably say, a typical defender's shot. Only 6 yards from goal, and the ball ends up 46 yards from goal. But he was in a good position. He just simply wasn't able to get over the top of it because he had to rush the shot. And the original cross, of course, was caromed in as Romero played it off the back of somebody else. We have a little excitement in the crowd on the far side.
As the crowd builds for the Cosmos match, which follows against Fluminense for the Transatlantic Challenge Cup trophy. But this match, Fluminense in Barcelona at 2-2. Olmo to Estella, the number 7 player for Barcelona, with Close behind him now. And all the way back to Ricardo Lopez, the Brazilian keeper. 2 goals in the second half. Gonzalez, Maradona and Close at 56-14 to give Barcelona a 2-1 lead. And then 3 minutes and 6 seconds after that, Romero on a penalty kick as Paulinho was fouled in the area. And that is our scoring.
Tough foul there by Valor. A very, very intimidating kind of foul, but nobody seems worried about it. No injuries, I guess.
No blood, no foul. Or no ill will so far. Leomir to Paulinho. Broken up. Waldo tries to spring a counterattack, and it'll come all the way back to the Fluminense back line. 20 minutes and 42 seconds now remaining in regulation. If we are tied at the end of regulation, we face the prospect of 2 10-minute sudden death periods. Paulinho, a lead for him, and Osvaldo challenging. Throw in for Barcelona. The baseball season is young. The races are on. And join host Fran Healy for a look at this week's division leaders and the most intriguing stories on the Pennant Chase. That's tomorrow night at 7:30 only on Sports Channel. The Pennant Chase. And check your local listings for the date and time in New England. Close back for Maradona. Lead on the left for Huzios and broken up. Wilsinho gives it right back to Leiva. Closes on it. And there is Leomir back to his keeper, Lopez.
Well, once again, Bob Leiva, who you just mentioned, the number 6 player operating out of midfield, going forward and trying to stop things right away in midfield so that Fluminense cannot build, because when they can build quickly out of midfield, we saw the kind of damage they can do down this right side. So he very quickly tries to do the best thing, which is win the ball back and counterattack.
Lovely piece of possession by Estella, and he gets it out to Valor as Barcelona lurks now in the midfield, but right to Wilsinho. A lead for Washington in a foot race, and it's chipped back to Amador. This is Antonio Olmo, number 5, and Valor, number 4. 19 minutes in regulation. Barcelona 2, Fluminense 2. Maradona for Gonzalez on the right side. Actually, that is Huzios. And now Estella on the wing to Close. Across the 18, Close. Challenged by Dulio, and it will be a goal kick. Close flooring for the corner, and
the linesman giving a corner, but the referee saying goal. I think the referee is correct here. Romero's going over, of course, to straighten it all out, but it's a goal kick.
Referee has the final say, as you would expect. He can wave off any flag, any call, and well, the opening round match on Memorial Day, the linesmen were doing a great deal of help for the referee in terms of just calling ordinary fouls. The referee was quite willing to accept that help that afternoon. Wilson Mendoca, Wilsinho, number 7. Fluminense, champions of Brazil, a well-rested side this week, as opposed to, well, having less than 24 hours to prepare for this game following the national championship match last weekend. Wilsinho. Broken up, and Leiva again springs it as he's been doing in the second half. Huzios crisscrossing with Migueli. Migueli on the left with Maradona in the box. Migueli tried to cross, and Leomir batted it down for the corner kick.
Well, he had to steady the ball. He did not quite feel he had it in good enough preparation. Didn't prepare the ball, as it were. And the first touch for a good cross, and that extra little split second he took to steady the ball was enough to give the defender a chance to put a foot in and knock it away.
Gonzalez for the in-swinger. Well beyond the far post. Headed right on, and Lopez has it. Something super coming this summer on Sports Channel, so get ready for all the home team action you could possibly want all this summer on Sports Channel. 17 minutes in this third place match. Barcelona, Fluminense 2-2. We've got the Cosmos match to follow immediately after this. A short break between games. Stay with us. We'll be recapping this game and chatting with some special guests here at Giant Stadium. Barcelona in the dark, Fluminense in the white. If you've just joined us, as Magical Gonzalez handballed midfield on Leomir de Souza.
One of the great things about skillful players, Bob, is that even if their first touch is off, the second one to recover is of such a sufficiently high quality that you've got to break the rules to stop him.
Estella, as Lopez is off his line, challenging Maradona, and Maradona wins that ball as it goes over the touchline, as the keeper came out and gave Maradona what he usually gets from midfielders.
And what the keeper sometimes feels he himself gets from forwards. But the crowd unhappy that Maradona was not given a free kick there as the keeper was climbing on his back.
Rene Tolosino. 16 minutes exactly. This is Bronco. Or rather Leomir squaring it off, and it comes back to Vica, Jose Luis Moravika. batted down in a handball against Huzios. We've had a rash of them in the last 10 minutes or so. One goal disallowed, an apparent goal by Maradona, as he used his hand to put through the rebound of a shot off the crossbar, off a corner kick. Aldo. Now to Wilsinho. 5 men in the box of the far post. Offside on the crack hitter by Rene.
But another high-quality ball in from Wilsinho, who's served in some nice swerving stuff from the right side. That one, in fact, may not have been Wilsinho, now that I think of it. Yes, it was Wilsinho.
And Rene with the header, but it was offside as the flag went up immediately. And we play back the other way with Estella down the right side. He's got close to the inside. A lead inside for Huzios, put away by Leomir. And Vika keeps it in bounds. Under 15 minutes now in regulation. Out of his own end, Leomir to Romero, who has been quiet for much of the second half. Washington, number 9. Aldo, and now back to Wilsinho as Aldo pushes up as well behind the play. Washington, and now Aldo. 14:30 to play. Bob Lee and Seamus Mallett on Sports Channel. Leomir through ball offside for Washington.
Well, convenient bus transportation to all Cosmos home games, including next Saturday's match against the Sting. And the Temptations and Four Tops concert on June 17th is available from the Port Authority to Giant Stadium. For easy access to and from the Meadowlands, call New Jersey Transit, area 201-762-5100.
Barcelona Fluminense, a game that has given us a spurts of great end-to-end action, some creativity. 1 disallowed tally, 1 penalty kick, and 4 goals to his side. Julio in his own end with Vika, his fellow central defender. Washington at the midfield. Now, we talked about at halftime how these sides may not indeed intent on playing more than 90 minutes, but the way things are right now, it's a very close poker game as Amador is out with Romero in front to put it away. Estella, Gonzalez. A lead for Maradona. Onside challenge by Julio, and the keeper bans on that.
Well, I think a free kick has been given anyhow, but it was a curious kind of attempt by Lopez to clear that one away.
So just off the penalty arc, about 3.5 yards beyond it, it will be a free kick.
You see Maradona trying to break through here, and he's just pushed a bit. He reacted a little bit late, but the referee did catch up with it sooner or later rather than sooner. And there may be a yellow card here if Wilsinho doesn't get out of there, pretending to tie up his shoelace, but of course he's just getting in the way. The ball has to go back 2 more yards at least.
Once again, the free kick, Maradona will take it. Now, they have scored off one of these already when the rebound off the wall was fed to Estella.
Ooh.
Just over the top with Gonzalez breaking in as Maradona took that shot. 2-2 with 12 minutes to play. In Seamus Mallett at Giant Stadium, Fluminense in Barcelona, 2 goals apiece. Paulinho appeals for the handball, doesn't get it. Close has it now for Barcelona. Close to the inside to Huzios, and Paulinho tussles. Watch Washington, who nearly put this in.
Look at this little flick up, and then he decides to scissor it away despite the defender on him, and a lunging, scrambling save by the keeper, just touching the way. That clearly would have been the game winner with only about 11 minutes to go. We have 10:40 to go now. We're still tied at 2, and the prospects of extra time facing us. On the other hand, keep in mind that a goal was scored just about 43 seconds before halftime. 47 seconds if I'm...
That's right, as Paulinho from Aldo and Romero to tie it. At that point, it was 1-1 as Fluminense came back to tie it. And a whistle will have a free kick. And let's see, we have another caution issue. Just a little talk from Robert Evans. 10 minutes now and change remaining. The Cosmos to follow against Udinese for the championship. Chicago is in on Saturday. That is a Saturday match, a bit of a change from the original schedule. And so the Sting, the Cosmos eliminated in the semifinals of the indoor playoffs, back outdoors where they tangle so very well with the Cosmos. Romero now for Aldo. That game is Saturday. Aldo with Wilsinho to his right as well as Rene to the inside. A chip for Aldo at the 18. Back to Rene. Settles. And broken up by Valor. Gonzalez. Stopped by Wilsinho. This is Paulinho tripped. No call as he took a tad of a dive about 25 yards out. And back to Migueli.
But he tried to do an interesting thing, which is one way to beat an offside trap as players rush forward. Instead of trying to find a teammate, then you just simply take on one defender and hope to beat him, because if you beat one, you beat six.
Lead down the right wing, inside of Vika. This is for close, a tad too far on the feet by Huzios. 9 minutes now in a tie match, as we begin to essentially play sudden death now.
Keep in mind, of course, this is only Huzios' second game for this team. He's a guest player, and this is where those things will happen. Late in the game, when you're tired, the exact precision of the passing will go a little bit, and of course, if your teammates don't simply read it the way you want it read, then these things come apart a little bit. But that was a very, very good chance, and I think the kind of chance that two teammates who play together a lot would have made more use of.
8.5 minutes now in regulation. Fluminense in the white, Barcelona the dark stripes, and a 2-2 match. Feet on the right side. Rene looks to corral it, being challenged by Valor, and off Rene's chest. It'll be a goal kick. The Transatlantic Challenge Cup. Cosmos last year were champions, and they also won it back in 1980, the first year it was contested. Seattle winning in 1981. Chicago Sting winning it in 82, and this year just one North American Soccer League team in this championship tournament. Under 8 minutes now. Stolen. Romero has it batted away by Olmo. And back to Huzios. Now down the wing. Huzios has it back. Estella is overrun. Didn't see that attacker coming from behind, and Fluminense has it back. Julio. And now Silva Espirito Santo. They call him Aldo. Moving lead for Romero. Tried to get it ahead to Washington. And as he did so, a flag for the offside call. A late whistle on that.
Well, the flag went up early. The whistle came a little bit later, but it looked to be offside to me initially, but very marginally so. It's the game has sort of lost a little bit of the intensity it had after that second goal, but then the games always pick up an intensity after goals are scored. In fact, as a scorer, your team is most vulnerable to giving away a goal out of the celebration kind of syndrome. But the game has settled down. It's very tight, and looks as though we may not see much in the last 6.5 minutes.
Well, Estella against Julio.
Here's a chance.
Yes, chips it back to the edge of the box. Gonzalez to center and wide. Actually a shot as Lopez closed the angle down.
Well, strange judgment there by Magico Gonzalez, who decides to go with that right foot for a very, very narrow angle shot with lots of blue and red hovering about in front, waiting for a cross.
6 minutes, 15 seconds now in regulation. Again, if we're tied at the end of regulation, it's 2 periods of 10 minutes. Sudden death. Sudden death overtime. Normally in international play, it's played to completion, but it is sudden death. And then penalty kick shootout. So kind of a combination of North American and international traditions in deciding this match. It'll be a penalty kick shootout and sudden death overtime preceding it. We still got 5 minutes, 50 seconds to play as Valor wins that ball, but Wilsinho sends it back. And a whistle at midfield for a push, and it'll be a free kick for Barcelona. Valor squares it, and that ball won by Romero, taken right back by Valor. 2-2 is the score. The third place in the Transatlantic Challenge Cup. Olmo challenged by Romero, and now Maradona has to circle deep in his end. Diego Maradona, perhaps his final match for Barcelona, perhaps a transfer to Napoli of the Italian First Division underway. Gonzalez lifting for Huzios, just wide. Huzios, who had the hat trick in the first round match, just wide of the far post.
Well, another beautiful cross served in there by Magico Gonzalez, and Huzios running into it very, very well, mainly because it was played right where it should be played, and he tried to hit the half volley, but couldn't convert it.
Neither team has made a substitution to this point. Stopped by Lieva. Inside for Maradona, edge of the penalty arc. Knotted down skillfully by Dulio. And now Rene challenged at the midfield. Valor. And now Istaya has it back with 4:20 to play. Lieva circles against Wilsinho. Back to Valor. And all the way back now to Olmo. Dulio at the 18 just putting his head to it and denying Maradona an attempt. Gonzalez on the right side. Watched by Branco. Maradona back to Gonzalez onside. Moves in, watched by Vika. Inside sliding tackle as Dulio will put it away as Leomir with the initial touch. And now a lead for Washington, cut off.
Great run by Maradona there, serving that ball and then holding back, Bob, while the other players up front took some of the heat as potential receivers. Defenders drew back. That opened up some space at the edge of the box. Then he made his run and almost picked it up. But the timing of runs is so important when you're off the ball. And the really, really smart players, the intelligent ones, the best in the world, know exactly, almost instinctively, when to hold and when to go into space.
And most folks will tell you the number 10 in darts is the best in the world as the game was played in 1984. Cusillos trying to get it ahead for close, but Vika puts it right back to Lopez's keeper. 3 minutes and 20 seconds now remaining in this regulation period in the second half, and we look like we could be having overtime. Branco, though, down the left side. Inside for Romero. A lead for Paulinho onside. Saves it, and then over the touchline, over the end line for the goal kick. Initially had it, but then it slithered away.
Well, we've got 3 minutes to go, just under 3 minutes to go, and as you mentioned, overtime facing us perhaps. Just to explain what that means in this tournament, there's 2 10-minute periods of overtime, but it's sudden death, so it could end in 1 minute, 5 minutes, or may go all to 20 minutes. If it goes the full 20 minutes, then of course there would be penalty shootout, not a 35-yard shootout, but penalty shots.
Ray in his own end now with a little bit of room at the midfield. Gets past Lieva and feeds off as it's crossed to Aldo with 2:25 now to play. 2-2 score. Fluminense in Barcelona. And the Brazilians from Rio, the champions of Brazil of the Brazilian League. Brazil the home of skill and subtlety and flair and elan on the soccer field. Team in white from Rio looking perhaps to crack one through and win third place in the Transatlantic Challenge Cup. It'll be a free kick about 25 yards out quickly to Aldo on the right side. Crossing knocked down by Valor. And now settled.
Boy, what a great piece of confidence in the penalty area. The last pass hurt him there because of the crown of the field and the artificial surface, but what great coolness by Olmo under pressure.
100 seconds to play as Dulio curls it in and Migueli has a head to it. A challenge there. Fluminense has it back. Branco was pushed up over the last minute or so. A little tussle there. Nothing whistled. It'll be a free kick for Fluminense. 85 seconds. Now you'll see the time, which is unofficial. Referee Bob Evans keeps the official time. There might be a few extra seconds, but we have had no injury stoppages. We have had the penalty kick whistled. The clock running throughout that sequence. Free kick. Dulio over the ball. Along the ground, stopped by Estella. And a whistle.
Yeah, he's going to retake it because player for, I think it must have been Close. It was Close who ran in front of the wall and therefore incurred in the 10-yard, made an incursion into the 10-yard zone. Close now again beyond the wall, two-man wall only, Close on the far side of it. He ran across the front of the wall. He's going to do it again.
Dulio again along the ground. Again it stopped, and again it's now chipped into the 18 to Aldo. And the offside flag is up, but a push is called, and so a free kick. Or was it just offside? Flag went up quickly from linesman Bill Mansman.
Well, 20 seconds to go on the scoreboard. It looks as though we're going to get maybe 20 minutes more of soccer, or something less than that if we have a sudden death goal.
Barcelona, Fluminense, and Barcelona quite content at this point to circle the wagons and think about overtime as it's settled in the midfield by Fluminense. And that time was official, is indeed on the mark, and indeed now, at the end of regulation, we will have overtime. So Well, the side from Spain, the side from Brazil will play it in New Jersey down to sudden death with the possibility of a penalty kick shootout. Seamus and I will be back after this.
For which he was transferred initially, Argentina Juniors to Boca Juniors, then eventually over to Spain. I mean, the Argentina Juniors club is still in good shape. They're still using that money to buy some players. Just bought Orquin recently from the Argentine national side, and that meant a tremendous amount of that club. Boca, on the other hand, struggling a little bit financially, may even have to remortgage the stadium. So lots of clubs in South America struggling, but Argentina Juniors not one of them.
Which is why a lot of the transfers that are talked about in megabucks are in dollars, which is the coveted international currency for soccer deals, not softer currencies. Nonetheless, back to the first overtime. Fluminense attacking. Washington, number 9, tries to split a pair of defenders, and Leiva takes it away. As Julio could not stop it, but Aldo is there to stop it, and now put it all the way back to Ricardo Lopez, the 24-year-old Fluminense keeper.
Other interesting aspect of that transfer, one peculiar clause in it, Bob, when he went from, when Maradona went from one Argentine club to another, the new club had to agree not to play Maradona in matches against his former club. The fans would go wild.
This is Rene, edge of the area, tried to get it inside to Washington. Amador was there. So perhaps a bit of history for Spanish international football or soccer today. Perhaps the last match for Maradona, who is on the ball right now with Barcelona at age 23. Tangling there with Bronco.
Bronco's been a little bit of the hard man back there for Barcelona several times, not just on Maradona, but on other players.
Julio, the captain, dogged by Maradona, gives it to Vico. 8.5 in this first overtime. Now J.C. Romero, who has an assist and a goal today, to go with a goal in our first round match. Rene, Wilsinho, Aldo, and lifted at the midfield. Leomir got a head to it. Romero stopped by Gonzalez, and it caroms to Staya. And a handball whistle with 8 minutes in this first overtime, tied at 2-2. That's Paulinho. Nese and the Cosmos right after this match, which right now is in sudden death overtime. Bob Lee and Seamus Mallon. A break down the left side, but Julio's there to cut him off the pass. 7.5 in this overtime. Bronco, lots of room now. Across the halfway line with Romero to his left. This is Paulinho now to the inside. Rene for Washington, and Barcelona breaks back with Gonzalez. Mágico Gonzalez, who does have a goal today. Chips ahead for Maradona, knotted down by Vica. Kept alive and now taken right back. This is Romero trying to play it for himself.
Oh, a good turn on Mágico Gonzalez. And the crowd applauds. Excellent turn. Here's a chance for Diego Maradona.
He stays lead for Maradona, edge of the area, but Julio is there, wearing the captain's armband to put it out with his right foot to Paulinho. And Barcelona beginning to control the possession at midfield. Estella centers. Close. Estella. And back it comes to Romero. 6.5 now in the match. A lead on the right side for Washington. Out comes the keeper, Amador.
And of course the central defender there calling for that. As he did so, it was Olmo going back to call to his keeper to come out and head that one clear. The keeper almost an extra sweeper back there in those situations where the back four are exposed by a good through ball.
6 minutes now in this overtime. First sudden death overtime. And if this one concludes still at 2-2, we'll go to another 10 minutes. Then possibly penalty kicks to decide it. Either side until one team has an insurmountable advantage. Maradona lead on the right side for Estella. Close breaking of the box. Estella now. Lays it back for Maradona. Diego. Chip inside for Maradona, taken down the edge of the area. Waved off though by Bob Evans. Said no way, as Diego took, in Evans' estimation, a dive.
Well, just inside the arc there, of course, that would have been a great chance for Maradona to set up one of his patented swerving shots around the wall.
Paulinho wins it back, and Osvaldo takes him down right at the ankle level with a hard kick.
That's the second time Osvaldo has done that to Paulinho. Remember, he did it right after Paulinho scored the goal, as you mentioned, a little bit of intimidation. Here he steals the ball away from him, and he gets kicked in retaliation. A lot of people feel that there's too much of that in Spanish soccer, Bob. Spanish soccer has been notoriously criticized for some of that kind of stuff, and it is a very, very hard league, certainly. And I think Maradona will be maybe quite happy to go over to the relative calm of the Italian league.
Branco, his left foot, and just slithering wide, and
we have a substitution now.
Our first of the day, as a move will be made by Barcelona. Lieva will be coming out of the match. And the substitution is made.
I don't know which one it is at this point. It's only 3 subs listed originally.
Dressing only 14 today, and believe it's Jimenez, who did come on as a sub late in the match. Yes, it is Jimenez who has come on as a substitute now for Lieva. Barcelona in the dark, Fluminense in the white, tied at 2-2. 4 minutes now in this first overtime. Bob Lee and Seamus Mallet on Sports Channel. Jimenez, number 12 on the ball. Pushes it up to Gonzalez. Magico taken off by Leomir, and Fluminense challenging, but Maradona looks to win it, and it will be a throw-in for the Brazilian side.
Good substitution here by Barcelona. Leiva has worked tremendously hard on the left side of midfield, and sometimes even the center of midfield, and obviously has expended a tremendous amount of energy. There are unlimited substitutions, so why not make one?
Rene breaks down the right side with Romero in the box. Crossing move in front, loose, and covered up by Amador, who is shaken up with JC in front. And as Olmo, the defender, says, let's have time for my keeper here. He's shaken up.
Romero running into the position here. The keeper has the ball, loses it. Romero reacts quickly, reaches in with the foot, but just catches the goalkeeper on the left arm. But he seems to be okay now, has drawn the free kick.
3 minutes and 10 seconds. First overtime. And the Brazilians can strike just as quickly as that, with a quick, sudden strike up either wing from a defender or midfielder, as they did to tie it with Paulinho's goal. Aldo overlapping and late in the first half, less than a minute, tying the match at 1-1. We are now tied at 2-2. Less than 3 minutes now. Aldo breaks that play up, but no one is there. And it will be a goal kick. Cosmos in the championship match to follow will be here Saturday and the following Sunday as well, 2 weeks from today. And Toronto is in town, the Blizzard, as we get back to the regular season action in the NASL. Tampa Bay a victory over Chicago the other evening, 2-0, and the Rowdies are back to 500, showing renewed vigor on the field after 2 disastrous campaigns. Now back to the action at hand. Jimenez for Close, who tried to flick it ahead for himself. 2 minutes. First overtime. Romero changing in the midfield with Rene. Rene past one defender. Inside for JC. Romero. Shot! Just caroms wide on the save.
Well, there was one of those beautiful build-ups out of midfield that you do see from the Brazilians. They managed to beat a couple of players quickly in midfield for the Spanish side, Barcelona. They could not get back. You see all the space suddenly. Players collapsing in the middle, but there's still enough room for Romero's shot to be taken. Keeper did well to smother it on a difficult bounce.
Corner kick from the near side. 80 seconds to play. Washington in the box. Wilsinho is in the area. So is Paulinho. Cleared out to the 18, and now to Magico Gonzalez at the arc. He'll go right back to Amador, who made that save to stifle Romero from the 18-yard line. Exactly now a minute in the overtime. Fluminense and Barcelona at 2-2. Maradona with a lead for Close, who is definitely onside now down the left side as Uzios goes into the box, but Aldo comes over, wins that ball decisively, and sends Close to the seat of his pants. Washington to Wilsinho, but a little bit too far. To be a throw-in for the Brazilian side, though.
Estella doing a good job getting back there into the left side of midfield after the substitute Jimenez had gone forward. Well read by him to come back and break it up.
25 seconds as Rene can't get it, but Wilsinho lays it back. 19 seconds now. Bronco with 16 seconds. Got Paulinho to his left. Uses his left foot, and it's well wide to the right of Lorenzo Amador, the keeper. And that should just about put the cap on this first overtime second period. 2-2 Barcelona and Fluminense, and we will play a second sudden death overtime with the possibility yet of a penalty kick shootout for third place in this 5th annual Transatlantic Challenge Cup. And referee Bob Evans has gone to the book about 7 times today, has awarded 1 penalty kick, has waved off several others that have been pleaded, has disallowed 1 goal. Very good turnout. We had 38,000 plus in a driving rainstorm on Memorial Day, and more folks coming in to watch the Cosmos as the crowd has been building through the afternoon.
And 31,000. Worst night, if you can imagine, for USA Italy. I think the players are trying to get the referee to change his mind here.
Just go to the shootout right now. I think they just would like to get out to Kennedy perhaps and call it a season, because of the league seasons that do in European and South American fashion end in the spring. And the son of Carlos Alberto, Alexander as he is known, and his dad is several booths over to our left, 17 years of age.
For just $5, all Cosmos fans 16 and under can join the Cosmos Kickers, the official youth fan club of the Cosmos. With membership, you'll receive a Cosmos t-shirt, decals, bumper stickers, a Cosmos Kickers membership card, and best of all, free admission to any 3 Cosmos games this summer. It's over a $20 value for just $5. So send $5 in your name and address to Cosmos Kickers, the care of the Cosmos Ticket Office, 75 Rockefeller Plaza, New York, New York, 10019.
Well, the pleas didn't work. They're going to play another overtime. And Fluminense shooting at the goal to our right. Barcelona in the dark uniforms will be shooting at the goal to our left. Bob Lee, Seamus Mallon of Giant Stadium in New Jersey. And we're your home for Cosmos Soccer Sports Channel. We'll have the Saturday match against the Sting. The 17th will be here when the Toronto Blizzard are in town. And now, third place, Transatlantic Challenge Cup on the line. Wilsinho into the area, headed in. Here comes Amador with Rene in front.
Not a bad idea by Romero, getting under a cross, beating 2 players to head it back across the other side. But once again, the keeper was in a good spot to help out.
Another substitution for Barcelona as Canizares, number 14, is on, replacing McGilly, a central defender. So a move made there for some more punch. There's Canizares, who also came on Monday as a sub. On the ball, number 14, challenged by Bronco. Throw in for the Brazilian side. Just underway, second sudden death overtime. Fluminense on the ball, a lead for Washington. Rene.
Washington just took a fall through no fault of any opponent. He just simply tripped on the turf.
And Jimenez. Don't forget, it will be the Cosmos at Udinese right after this game at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. The championship match of the Transatlantic Challenge Cup here on Sports Channel. Cosmos at Udinese just around 4 o'clock. Perhaps a few minutes afterwards, we'll be here between games with highlights of Game 1 and also visiting with special guests. Jimenez with a lead. Offside, a little bit too far for Canizares. As Close was advanced as well, and the flag immediately raised. 8.5 minutes now till we possibly go to another penalty kick shootout, which is why Fluminense is in the third place match. Udinese defeating them in the penalty kick shootout 5-3. Aldo with Wilsinho to his left, crisscrosses to the inside, has that play broken up. Here comes Close for Barcelona, number 9, with Jimenez to his right, and Maradona on an advanced run. Close now on the right side. A lead for Canizares, Gonzalez far too far, and a goal kick now for Lopez.
Very good idea, though, by Magico Gonzalez. All eyes on Maradona making the advance run, with defenders pulling back, so Magico Gonzalez withdraws a bit deeper than that, then makes his sprint from behind. The servicing pass just had a bit too much pace on it. But once again, a very well-timed run to when the defense was distracted by number 10.
Which is what set up the Gonzalez goal, which tied things up for Barcelona at 56-14. And now we are in the 103rd minute of action. Bronco settling for Fluminense, and there is Romero on a run with room down the left side as Osvaldo picks him up. Romero now looking to cross. He's got Washington in the box. Romero back to his left foot. JC. And will be a corner kick now for Fluminense with 7 minutes in the second overtime. And Romero will take it. With Washington in the box, Wilsinho and Lopez under the Amador under the gun. Romero in swinger, headed loose and close as they're looking to clear, and does so down the left side. And Barcelona on a break. Here goes Magico Gonzalez with Maradona to the far wing as Julio wins that ball away from Magico.
Very good defense by Julio there. Gonzalez with a tremendous run to save the ball initially, beat one player, but then perhaps making it a little bit obvious what he was going to do when he got to the second one. And Julio, a far stronger person from a physique standpoint, who was just simply able to muscle him off the ball.
6:20, second sudden death overtime. Third place on the line, the Transatlantic Challenge Cup. Polino showing no ill effects of that vicious hit he took back in the first overtime. Back on the ball, and now to Wilsinho. But all to do is right. Wilsinho, and it'll be a free kick for Fluminense. Might have been a play on call, but it'll be a free kick. Under 6 minutes now. Wilson Mendoza, Wilsinho, and he's on the right side. The ball well out towards midfield. Too far to be overly dangerous directly off the kick as Julio chips in. Header save! With Washington coming in from the left wing and cracking it right on Amador. Didn't get all the velocity he might have wanted, but an excellent scoring opportunity.
Look at this beautifully glided pass. Beats everybody. Little chip over the defense. A good run by Washington. And he's the only person who can get there. And unfortunately, his finishing header, fortunately for the Brazilian side, is not strong enough or sharp enough to the far corner. But what a tremendously chipped ball. And a good run by Washington to get to the right spot.
5 minutes now, second overtime as Gonzalez, Dunny's Maradona is on it now. It's Uzios in the middle. There's number 8. Back it goes to Valor with 4:50 now and counting. 2-2 is the score. Third place on the line. And the Cosmos to follow against Udinese. Close for Valor. Tried to lead Maradona with the bang-bang pass there. Close is back. And Gonzalez is on it. Barcelona builds along the right side. A lead as Leomir watches defensively as Canizares could not control it. It will be a throw-in now for Fluminense. We approach the 4-minute mark. Near handball, and now the flag is raised, but no whistle. There's close edge of the area. Tees it up on the right side, Canizares, and now we've got the whistle for the offside call. Rene for Fluminense to Aldo. The offensive-minded defender. Unchallenged lead for Rene in the box. And now Wilsinho is challenging, trying to win that back with Olmo. Throws the itinerant elbow at Olmo, and he has to double up. Maradona plays peacemaker with 3:40 on the clock. And a penalty kick shootout right on the horizon. Coming dead towards us right now.
Well, it would be nice to see it resolved on the field on the regular flow of play with 3.5 to go rather than through penalties, which of course in a fourth place game has much less sting to it than the qualifying games had, the semifinals on Monday.
Jimenez, a lead for Canizares on the right side. Curls it back for Maradona. Can't get to it. Taken out of the play by Aldo very well. And Aldo gathers it back in. No one could get their noggin to it. 3 minutes now. Aldo and Wilsinho, and a whistle. Looks like we're going to have another caution issued. Might be to Uzios. He starts trotting away, but Robert Evans says, come on back. I want to have a word with you. And Uzios might have had a word, might have thought that Maradona was fouled. Maradona himself did not plead his case.
Trujillo's kicking at the Brazilian opponent, but I didn't think it was that noticeable, but the referee was so close to it that he must have felt the intent was far more grave than the actual offense turned out to be.
2:20 in the match. Dulio to the far post. Wilson can't get it. It's cracked out, and Jimenez controls up the right side. He's with Gonzalez. Magico curls back now and loses out as Broncos got it. There is Romero. 2 minutes in the match. JC slips to Washington and put away, and Barcelona back on it. Olmo broken up again by Leomir. Here comes Fluminense with 1:50 now in sudden death. Leomir for Paulinho on the left wing with Romero in the box. Curls it in. Romero header over the top, and it will be a corner kick.
Well, Paulinho did the right thing there. He got the cross in early because two players went towards him. Here's the quick corner kick now by Romero.
JC to the far post again, hit it up by the defender and punched out by Amador. 80 seconds now. 80 seconds and the clock running in a 2-2 match in the second. Sudden death overtime. Another Fluminense corner kick. Again, Paulinho will take it. Romero to the far post. Wilsinho on the near post. Amador got a partial hand to it, and Jimenez puts it out to midfield with 1 minute to play.
Well, there may be the best opportunities of this overtime period to the Brazilian side. Fluminense, good corners, well cleared away, though. The second one in particular, the first one a little desperate. And we've got 45 seconds to go, maybe one more chance.
Branco looks to perhaps create that chance as it put out by Osvaldo, and here comes Barcelona. Jimenez lays it off to Gonzalez. Here is Close in the midfield with 35 seconds. Close on the right side. A little bit of misunderstanding. He and Jimenez, I believe, had opposite ideas about that advance, and no one took the right wing.
And also Maradona had drifted far right there and could have maybe put something together with Close had they been able to get to the end of that, but a very poorly hit pass. We've got 9 seconds to go, so for the second time in 6 days we're going to look at a penalty shootout.
Barcelona Fluminense 2-2. The scoreboard clock is not official, but it is close enough. And that is it. Regulation and overtime over, and we go now to the penalty kick shootout. And again, a reminder that the goals in the penalty kick shootout do count as actual game goals. So 5 aside until one team has the insurmountable advantage. And we'll step aside for a moment and be back with the penalty kick shootout to decide third place in the Transatlantic Challenge Cup. It goes to the shootout. Well, soccer's version of the shootout at the OK Corral, and to decide matters after 10 overtime, or I beg your pardon, 20 minutes of overtime, Fluminense and Barcelona, a penalty kick shootout from the penalty spot 12 yards away from the keeper, not from the 35-yard line, which is the North American Soccer League custom. We will see how many of these would be retaken, if any are saved or missed because of early movement by the keeper. We had, I believe, 2 retaken in the shootout on Monday. And, of course, some movement always permitted by the keeper. How much? Well, that's a strict interpretation that varies from referee to referee. We'll continue until one side has an insurmountable advantage.
A little bit of interpretation going on out there by Romero for his for the benefit of the Spanish team, it seems to me. Romero, of course, fluent in Spanish, naturally, from Paraguay, and also speaks English, so he's helping Bob Evans out there. All the players must stay in the center circle as the other players go forward to take the penalty shots. Looks like Fluminense is going to be shooting first in white, and the Barcelona goalkeeper Amador will be appearing in the goal on the left in a moment. Of course, there was another big penalty tiebreaker played this week in Europe for the European Cup final Wednesday night in Rome, where Liverpool played Roma and played them to a 1-1 tie. They played 30 minutes of overtime, not sudden death, but 30 minutes of overtime. No further scoring. It went to penalties, and Liverpool prevailed 4-2, I believe, even though they missed their first shot.
Wow.
Were behind 2-1 at one point and then hit 3 in a row. And the Rome players, in front of their hometown crowd in their home stadium, knocked 3 penalties over the top.
Romero will go first. Will shoot first for Fluminense on Amador. Tied at 2-2. These count as actual game goals in the international fashion. And again, the officials, Bob Evans, the referee, and linesman Bill Bryan and Bill Mansman will confer.
Romero, of course, scored a penalty already today, scored a goal from the field of play on Monday, and scored a penalty which was retaken in a shootout last time.
Keeper must have his feet on the goal line, and according to the law of the game, may not move until the ball is struck. The worry now is, or just the concern, putting Lopez, the Fluminense keeper, nearby to call him quickly, but not become a factor or a distraction. Everyone else is in the center circle. J.C. Romero. And Lorenzo Amador. The first of 5 for Fluminense, or until one team has the advantage. Amador with the save. Guessing correctly, it will be retaken. We will have it retaken, and that is how upset Amador is. He does a flip. Barcelona irate.
I can't believe it. They got all kinds of players coming out on the field. From the far side, the Barcelona players really ought not to be doing this. This is a bad piece of sportsmanship, or breaking out of sportsmanship by them.
He clearly moved early, Chavis.
The referee has to make the decision. He's not going to put up with any of this stuff. He shouldn't.
Maradona just skived the ball about 40 feet up. And referee Robert Evans, yes, ruled a retaken penalty kick. Amador, the keeper, clearly moved forward at least a step and a half before the ball was guessed correctly. And watch the keeper now. Keep your eye on the goalkeeper.
Keep your eye on the keeper and the eye on the player shooting if you can, both at the same time. No question he does move a tad away from the goal. Frankly, it was not a well-hit penalty. It was, in other words, it gave the keeper too much of a chance to save any of it because it came up in the air, which is not a good move anyhow. It means the keeper has to dive less far than he will if it's skimming along the ground, and it was too close to him. So even had he not moved, he probably would have had a good chance to save it.
So Amador will face Romero again. J.C. Romero with a second lease on life and our first of 10 scheduled penalty kicks to decide third place in the Transatlantic Challenge Cup.
Referee will not allow it to be taken until the Barcelona players get off the field on the far side.
Amador upset. The tension is a bit draining for him after 110 minutes of full action and having already made what he believed to be a good save. He moved early again, but Romero choked, quite frankly, put it well wide.
Well, Romero obviously changing direction that time, but not quite as much the way he intended. Direction like about 180 degrees. Got way under that thing and knocked it 15 rows back into the crowd. Very peculiar shot by Romero.
And again, as we discussed Monday, because it was not even close to going on goal, even though the goalie moved early, nothing will be retaken. So, Lopez now in the nets for Barcelona, and he will face Huzios for Barcelona. Huzios had the hat trick on Monday. Lopez tensed. You saw Lopez with his gyrations in the net, maybe hoping to distract Huzios. Get a itinerant hand on the ball. Didn't work. Huzios put it in. So Barcelona now leads it 3-2.
That's right, in the European fashion, of course, adding the goals in the shootout to the goals already scored in regulation, which were 2-2. It's now 3-2.
Julio, the captain. Save, but it will be retaken again. And Amador says, I don't want to say it, but I've got to say it, if we can make a rough translation. He says, what do you have to do on this tough town, this America, I think is what he's roughly saying.
Well, we'll see it again. Another badly taken shot. No question he's moving. He moves off the line. But what these players are all complaining about is the fact that these movements are very often allowed in Europe and in South America. A certain amount of movement is a pace. I mean, literally, by the textbook, it ought not be. But it is in actuality allowed. A certain amount of movement is permitted because the keeper has essentially no chance. It ought not to be by rules, as I said. And the referee here is calling it strictly by the book.
So, for Fluminense to stay in it, rifled in by Julio, and again movement, but no need to retake this one. So it is 3-3. And Barcelona does have the advantage on the Husillos penalty kick.
Well, no mistake with this one. He just simply buries it up in the roof of the net. That's one of the theories of penalty kicking, Bob. You just drive it as hard as you can. And, of course, in the regular field of play, even if you miss, you may get a rebound. No rebounds, of course, can be converted here.
Magico Gonzalez to give Barcelona a 1-goal advantage after 2 rounds of the shootout. It is 3-3 game score, but this is for Barcelona to have the even number of attempts, if you will, the bottom of the inning in a baseball sense. Right along the ground, so Barcelona has the advantage as Lopez guessed incorrectly.
I think that's the best way to take it. Just fake a little bit to one side and then push it away to the other. Along the ground, the keeper has no chance whatsoever if that ball is skimmed along the ground into the back of the net, the back corner of the net. He just simply can't make it, can't get over there fast enough.
Well, Paulinho, and again, Fluminense trailing, as you'll note, the wide shot by Romero in their first attempt. Paulinho inside the left post, past Amador.
So we're tied again.
What?
4 apiece, but bottom half.
At the edge, yes.
Yep. Here comes Diego Maradona, taking maybe his last shot on goal in a Barcelona shirt, and who's going to call this one if he misses it?
4-4 is the score. Third penalty kick attempt for Barcelona. Just inside the post to the right of Lopez, and so it is 5-4 Barcelona.
Again, as I said, the easiest way to do it is just take a little one way and then push it the other. If you hit hard enough along the ground to the post, to the corner, it's going to be physically impossible for the keeper to get down there and save it without moving early and guessing right.
Washington now for Fluminense, which again needs every goal now because they missed on the first one by Romero. Amador on the nets for Barcelona. Washington over the top. So Barcelona with their 4th attempt. The game was tied at 5-5.
This looks like it goes right down the middle of the assumption the keeper's going to guess some way, and he does guess to his right, but the ball was stroked right down the middle into the roof of the net. A bit risky, but it worked.
And now Jimenez. And Jimenez gives Barcelona again the advantage, so each team with 4 attempts, and Barcelona leads the match 6-5.
And this one opting for the upper corner, not the lower corner, but he plays it wide enough so that the keeper cannot reach out a hand and touch it away. Now a miss here on this 5th shot by Fluminense, and it's over.
Leomir will take it.
Is it number 5? Yes, you're right, number 5.
Leomir de Souza, the 22-year-old wing defender. In the midfield today. He must score for Fluminense, which he does. But now Barcelona with an attempt to clinch it. Washington has a word away from the action for the next shooter for Barcelona, as That one went through for Leonard. As Canizares was advancing, Washington came out. Lord knows what he said to him, but he did have a word of advice from his foe, from Fluminense.
The lines, the referee and the goalkeeper here doing a little bit of one-upmanship there, talking to the shooter. So Canizares, it's all up to him. He scores. It's over.
A little levity out there. Save! It will be retaken. We hate to say it. Now the onslaught is on, and now Fluminense is just
not a very
all over the ref.
Not a very well hit shot, but if two can be called up to Canizares.
How seriously are they taking this? That's an honest question on my part. I really wonder.
Well, the keeper did move again, I think, but once again, how much is permitted, how much not? The Brazilian side really can't complain because they've had a couple of retakes themselves from Romero and Julio. Romero missed his retake, and Julio scored his.
So Canizares for the match again. It'll be retaken. Canizares lighthearted out there, and he and Lopez a few words back and forth. This is for the match, with the Cosmos Udinese in the championship match to follow. You watch enough of these, and the NASL system at the 35-yard line shootout makes a lot more sense when the goalie can't move, and that element of controversy is simply abolished. Lopez comes out.
A little bit of the Shep messing in Lopez. Remember, Shep in the Olympic game took his shirt off in a goal in Mexico and threw it down and so forth, and so upset the shooter that he hit over the top.
And Canizares is in, and that's the match.